to the line. Reynolds! You can take me now. I have seen it all. I have seen everything.
Welcome to the Ultimate Supercoach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
G'day guys, we are here for the countdown show. We made it. Might be a little bit late, but we got here. Welcome back to Insight Fantasy Sports, pure Q&A show tonight, just to make sure you guys are on top of all of your trades. We'll talk about our final trades, our captains, our vice captains, and I guess if there's any time left over, we'll talk about some trade trends and some thoughts on one of those popular moves, I guess. Matty, thanks for joining me again, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good. Just finished a game of basketball against some school kids, and I ripped through them like Buller through a Titans defense.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Did you shoot 3 from 12 tonight? Or
No. It was about 0-4.
Oh, good. Good to get the shots up. Love it. Guys, drop your questions, please. We will get to all of them, or as many as we potentially can. We've got a few questions on Twitter as well that we will cover tonight too. So first one from Jaden Pitts. Should I go to Ruva, to Keon Kalamatangi via Peachy? Or go Peachy's, or you can't go straight from Peachy to Keon. What are your thoughts, Matty?
Yeah, I really like getting rid of Taruva. I think Taruva is a play every week, but I just think Keon Kalamatangi is a lot better.
Yeah, completely agree with that. I think, look, Taruva might have a little bit of cash left to make, but with Isaac Tungo on the inside of him now, I'm not a really big fan of holding Taruva. So yeah, I think that's a sell. Yep. So I'm happy with that.
Without digging into a question, Dylan Brown's out, which wasn't a big play on our Tuesday show. I'm sure there's going to be some big questions, but what's your solution to Dylan Brown? Because we might actually cover some of the questions just by you answering that one.
Yep. Yes, good question. I am trading, to Ponga. I'm going to Ponga.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple moves you can make. Most people have Schuster in the 2RF, so you could shift him down and bring in a 2RF like a Bateman or a Nickera or an IPAP or someone like that, or a Keon. Or you could bring Manu up to 5'8", and you could bring in a center wing like a Meany or someone like that. Meany Azarko if you miss the Azarko boat. So there's a few moves you can make. I'm just taking the risky play this week. I have a gut feeling about Ponga. He scores well at Suncorp. Played a few games there, obviously in Origin as well. So I like him for the run home, and it could be a play that gets me into that top 1%. So what are your thoughts? What are you doing?
So I got rid of him last week for Eli Katoa last minute, as I was saying, but I would probably go Meany if given the opportunity again.
Yep. Yeah, I like Meany. I like Meany as a player. If you can get Meany
and just more handy duels as well. Like, like just talking about Schuster and Manu just shows how good it is to have some extra duels. So.
Absolutely. Daniel Brown is tempted to grab AJ Brimson. We were having a conversation about this earlier, a couple of days ago, and the re-injury risk for hamstrings is just one you want to watch. I think maybe you want to see him get through 2 full games first before you take a leap. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And watching what the NRL physio says about hamstring is a lot better than me. And you just think about when AJ come back last time, well, he was injured in another week, and a lot of people went early. I want AJ Brimson, especially with that 5'8" fullback duel, but I'm going to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think you have to wait. Imagine if he goes down with a third hammy, would be dire straits. New South Wales is on. And I think I saw Queenslander in the chat as well. So we've got a little bit of State of Origin rivalry in the comments here, which is great. Isaiah Papali'i for 100. I would enjoy that. Matty,
that is not a question.
We have it doesn't need to be a question. I'm just trying to put that in there because it leads to my trades later. I've changed my mind about 3 times in the last hour. So I'm going back to my gut feel. I'll talk about that soon. Brent's on. Hey, mate, thanks for hopping on. Got in IPAP and Bateman, so he's gone the double Tiger. Huge play.
Well, huge. I think IPAP has the base, and Bateman, I really like his matchup this week. Yeah, look, I really like anyone playing the Titans, to be honest. I think it could be big. I'm just not sure I want to hold 3 Tigers. That's what's deterring me from doing something very similar.
Yeah,
yeah, you just think that they could just go into a little bit of a slump. They've been good for, 5 weeks now? Pretty small sample size compared to how bad they've been for years.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, Bateman I think is a great option this week. I think now, and for everybody who's not on top of the news, Bateman has the Wacko's whispers came out when the teams were named an hour before kickoff, saying that Bateman's actually going to be playing in the middle of the field. He's going to play a lock role, and Sean Blaw's come in. Alex Seyfarth has dropped out of the team for the Tigers, and Sean Blaw will play on the right edge. So they've named Blaw at lock as a straight swap kind of thing for Nuapole's drop back to the bench, but they're saying that Bateman will play through the middle in a lock role. So that's great for Bateman's workload. I mean, he's still going to get the arm free, and he's still going to look for attack and look for passes and stuff. So I think he will get plenty involved, and you're probably going to be guaranteed a 60 from Bateman week in, week out. So I don't mind it. And if you're going to get Bateman, you need to get him this week. You can't wait. He's got a 10 break even, so he could be 700K next week. So Get him this week or leave him, I think. And Brent has asked another question. Does Brano have hair? I always see him with a hat on. Mystery of the universe. No, I've got hair.
It's Corey Horsburgh.
Just a bit of a receding hairline, thanks to my old man. Always blame him. It's not my fault. But yes, I have hair. Promise. All right. Live questions coming in. We'll do the lives first. We've got a few questions on Twitter that we'll get through as well. And yes, we are clashing with Aman. Can't help that. It's all timing of a countdown show, but he does some great stuff as well. So make sure to check his out, as well as ours. Don't leave us now. Hamoli Olakawatu, pod buy of the week. And there was a question on Twitter, so I might tie this one in with Banks here in the chat. Now, Nathan McKay on Twitter was asking, what's the best 2RF to trade in that plays both round 16 and 17? He's looking at Olakawatu and Adam Elliott as two options there. Yep. Do you have any kind of thoughts around that? I mean, for me, Jermaine Hopgood, if you don't have him, he's going to play 16 and 17.
Yeah, I think Jermaine Hopgood is the best one that's playing in 16 and 19. I'm a bit deterred with the fact that Hamoli hasn't looked as good, so I'll wait for him to string a couple of good scores together before I get him in. He is somebody I want, but I'm still a little scared of that 94 break even. Which I believe it's only about 60 for it's only 60 for the other bloke. Which were we comparing against? I just looked him up.
Adam Elliott.
Yeah, Adam Elliott's is only like 60 now due to him plugging away a couple of good ones. Any sub 500K, I like Adam Elliott because I think that he'll ramp up better than he is and he'll only keep getting better. Hamoli hasn't looked himself all year. So. And
I'm going to go one further, and so Nathan McKay's asking for someone who plays the next three rounds, so round 16 and 17, because 17 is a bit of a tricky round, right? So, Eli Katoa is a guy that plays 16 and 17, so I actually probably prefer him over those two, if I'm completely honest.
Do you think that you missed the boat? Eli Katoa 572K, break even of now 30. I just wonder if you want to be paying 570K for a guy that relies on tries like this bloke.
Yeah, I mean, his base isn't terrible.
It's like 37 or something, 40?
Yeah, it's not that bad. At worst, you're probably going to get a 45-50 from him, but upside playing outside Jerome Hughes on a good team. Now, Bellyache is going to get up these boys after their last week's performance. Can you, their defense is going to be on point this week. There's no way in the world they're going to leak points. And who are they playing again? They're playing the Sharks. So, they're playing the Sharks on Sunday at 4:00 in Melbourne.
Even if they lose, the Sharks leak points.
Yeah, that's right. They
even when the
haven't
Sharks
beaten a debate team yet this year. So, worth thinking about. But, Eli Katoa, I don't mind that. I prefer him.
It's absolute music to my ears because that's who I traded out for Dillbags last week. So,
hindsight. Love it.
Nico, hindsight.
Best centre wing to buy, Shots wants to know. Marju's a good buy, yes. If you don't have Marju, what's he priced at now? He'd be nearly priced out, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I think you've missed the boat on Asako as well, even though
68K Marju.
I think you've missed the boat on him. I think you've missed the boat on Asako at 790K. I like Nick Meaney and I like CNK still.
Yep. All right.
Which are both not centre wings, but they play centre wing. So
That's it. Centrewing and Supercoach. That's all that matters. G'day, Mark. Thanks for hopping on. Sitting on Brown, Cleary, and Fafita this week. So he's sitting on all three. So I guess this probably leads into maybe a question that probably needs to be covered, considering all three of these guys are out. Do you feel like, I mean, Mark's holding all of them. Do you feel like any of them are legitimate holds where you could go, you know what, I actually don't need to trade them this week. I can have a look and reassess next week?
So I am holding David Fafita. I'm prepared to lose 100K, but I'm okay with it because you only lose money when you trade him out. I might not even play him when he's backing up from Origin. I just think sitting here with 17 trades, he's not worth a trade out for my situation. If I had 19, if I had 20, I would trade him out, cop the 100, 150K burn and let him go. I can't see, and again, outside of my pay grade, I can't see Brown playing until he at least goes to his next court hearing, which is another 3 weeks away, and Cleary's out for 6 weeks. I can't hold Brown. I can't hold Cleary. You can make a case for holding Fafita, even though if you've got trades to burn, you definitely trade him out.
I'm doing the same. So we'll quickly talk about our trades. Initially, about 30 minutes ago, I wasn't. I was selling Fafita, but
that was mid basketball game. But last I heard, you were. I took the reins on that one because I thought you were trading him out.
No, I was, and I thought, I'm just going to tackle it. But I thought, you know what? I've got Hosking there that I wanted to trade out for a couple of weeks now, and I wasn't playing him this week anyway. So what's the point? Why would I just hold? I'll just hold Fafita on the bench, and he can just stay there and do exactly the same as what Hosking would have done, and Hosking might lose cash. And he's outside Jack Cogger, so I don't exactly feel great about that either. He'll probably get less good ball. I don't know whether Penrith are going to look as good with Nathan Cleary, so I'm holding Fafita. I'm exactly the same as you. There's only so many trades we have left, and I'm feeling good about how many trades I have. I've got 18 left after this week, after boosting. But we've got to have some left to get the guns back. And the more guns you trade out, the more you've got to use then to get them back into your team. Regardless of cash, you only lose money when you trade them.
So I thought those two trades aren't worth 150K to me. If we were to put a monetary value on it, trades are worth 100K each to me in my head. So,
yep. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. We'll quickly make our way through these questions. Actually, off the back of that, so Cleary and Brown, you think they're both sells. I agree with you.
100%.
I think the only time there's merit in holding, I don't see them merit in holding Brown. I think you can trade Dylan Brown knowing the fact that he's not going to play the next 3 weeks. And the reason why we want to deal bags is for that buy period. You're probably not going to see him until at least around 19 or 20 because of his court date at the end of June. So I'm pretty good at I feel good about moving him. The only reason that I would hold Nathan Cleary this week is if I had Nico Hines as my other halfback, and I wanted to make sure I was certain that either Mitchell Moses or whoever I trade in doesn't get picked for Origin 2. That is the only way that I would hold Nathan Cleary this week. So if you're not sure who to go to, you don't feel good about Moses, maybe you're a little bit worried he gets picked for Origin, sit on Cleary this week, leave him in reserve, use another player on your bench, and then trade in the guy that you want next week when you're certain about what Origin teams look like. That's the only way to play it.
Can you bring up Queenslanders' question? Because the last one to come through, because I think that actually, he asked, would I trade Fafita to get Nicker and Bateman? If you can improve your team in these other positions, then 100%. But I just hope that you've got a plan to get Fafita back. I really like getting Nicker and Bateman in this week. If you can trade out Fafita, get that 100K. Because Bateman's going to make you that 100K. Fafita's going to lose you at least 100K. Again, that's where the trades start to be worth it for me.
Good shout. Gustavo's asking, is Walker injured? Now, news came out after we recorded on Tuesday night that Cody Walker was carrying a quad injury, I think it was, and he didn't finish training on the Wednesday. Now, it's come out that South's officials aren't overly worried about it. So I'm not quite sure what to take of this. Excuse me. But I think what I would potentially do is maybe if you, depending on who you've got as your second 5'8", start them, have Cody Walker on the bench. And then if Cody Walker's out late, you can flick your reserve to a Bulldogs player or someone playing at the back end of the week. Yeah,
sounds good. I think I've got the Roosters Manu in there. So it's afterwards, so I'm okay with it. I've actually got the C sitting on Cody Walker, but I will probably swap him out, obviously, if he doesn't play. Probably put the C on somebody like Moses and just play Schuster or Harrison Edwards. So,
Yeah, fair call. I've got a few. I've got Marnie and Edwards, and I'm not playing this week, so I've got a couple of options to play around with if I need to. Thursday night, Mark is saying is a super coach killer, and I would agree. But when we look at what the Titans do every single week in and week out, they leak a ton of points. They fade in second halves. Tigers come good in second halves. I feel like it's really set up to be quite conducive for super coach points. So,
Yep.
I mean, yes, Thursday nights usually suck, but we've got to look at the matchup too. It's a good point, though. All right. What else have we got? Boldness comes from your mum's father's side. Oh, there you go. Interesting. Didn't know that. So I'm going to have to blame my pop. Unlucky pop. So Luke wants to know who our opinion of the New South Wales halves for game 2. I think it'll be Nico Hines and Jerome Luai. I don't think they're going to change too much, to be honest.
Me too. They didn't have a great game, but also Queensland played fantastic. If they can just tighten up a few things, Nico's already in the system. It's not just throwing somebody random in there. It's a guy that was playing off the bench and probably the best halfback in the game. I would salivate as a Queenslander if they selected anyone but Nico Hines.
Yep. Head-to-head here, holding Cleary, got Hines, take the L round 17. Fair call. And head-to-head, obviously, is a completely different story. I think you can look at holding guys like Cleary or hold Fafita probably. I'd actually definitely hold Fafita if it was head-to-head. Maybe Cleary's out too long. You can still move him. But even Dylan Brown might be a hold there too in head-to-head if you want to make sure that you're saving trades. And also, it depends how many trades you have left. We're lucky. We've held some and we've made some relatively good holds over the last few weeks, so we can make these moves. But if you've got sub 15 trades, you're going to need a few of those in the run home. We're only in round 15. There's still like 13 rounds of football left. So you're going to have to be very careful you don't run out.
And that might be why we sound a little bit confident sitting at, say, 5,000th and what are you, just 10,000th or whatever you are, just to rub that in.
8,000.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's why we feel confident, because we know people are going to burn out of trades and we're going to be able to leapfrog them because we've saved a few in these key areas. And me saving that for feeder trade is just me thinking about the fact that I just don't have to get him back in.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. We'll answer a couple of quick Twitter questions as well. So there's people that want Cody Walker updates and don't want to get stuck with Brown and Walker as laid outs. Obviously, with Brown already out, for people holding Brown, people are sweating on Walker. But the good thing is you can go Walker to Ponga if Walker ends up out. Not the ideal move, but if you want to get stuck and you don't want to get stuck with an AE, I think going from Walker to Ponga could be the option if you get stuck.
And we'll know at captain's run. Like let's just wait until tomorrow. I'm not panicking on Cody Walker.
Yep. Kelp is asking, do I drop deal bags for Bateman, which leaves me 280K, or do deal bags to Moses? So basically the question is Bateman and cash or Mitch Moses?
I go Mitch Moses.
I think so as well.
I think he's going to pick up the slack. If you've got Jules, I even don't hate Gutho getting him in. I just like, I know they're both playing 16 and 19. You're going to make some money out of probably both of them at this stage. I just really think that Moses is going to need to step up for the Eels, and they always score a lot of points. So Moses is going to be out there digging in.
Yeah, I do like the Gutho call too. I'm a very happy Gutho owner. Now that Brown's out, he's going to play a lot more as a bit of a playmaker and a second 5'8" down the left edge of the field. So
yeah, he's going to need
and
to.
Also, Dejan Arce is not a bad footballer. He's a good footballer. So I think the impact will be lessened by having Arce there. Other questions are, so Paul Howard is asking us, Katoa to Karaz, Isaiah Katoa to Karaz via Jules, Peachy to Nickera, and then Sonny Luke to Tanner Boyd or Wade Egan. Don't know whether I like either of those hooker options personally.
Me neither. I wonder whether you could just do something a little bit. I actually prefer Ray Stone than either of those guys. I
was about to say the same thing.
And you'll bank a bit of cash, and he's going to make some money. You just have to make sure you have enough trades because you're going to have to trade Ray Stone out. But there is a world where in 4 weeks' time, you could go Ray Stone with $50,000 cash to Harry Grant.
Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. Hopefully that happens. Jason Munro wants to know, is it Stags season again? 442,000, 4 break even versus Newcastle. So he's matched up against Bradman Best. Be interesting.
We know he's not the best.
No, he isn't. 442k is kind of like the most I'd ever want to pay for Tony Staggs. Like I was looking at him at 399 because it's that sub 400 mark that just makes your mind tick over. I don't know. He doesn't play 16 or 19 either. It's probably a pass.
Yeah, that's for me. It's a pass in. He doesn't play 16 or 19. Tony Staggs is somebody that usually plays better against better teams as well.
Yeah, that is a good point.
He is a guy that just hangs out. Hopefully the rest of the boys get the job done. And like that's nothing against his personality. I think he steps up when we need it, and that's why we all consider Tony Staggs a fantastic footballer. But Supercoach wise, he's not been relevant for these exact reasons.
5 minutes till kickoff, guys. Couple of quick questions here. If you don't have Cody Walker, J-Man's asking, if you don't have Cody Walker, is it worth moving from Dylan Brown if your second 5'8" is Oluwapu? Now, my answer to this would be you can do it initially, and then you can change the trade from Walker to Ponga midweek if Cody doesn't get named. And if he does play, great. He's got a really nice matchup.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. I still think via Jules, if you can. Moses is a better player than Ponga. But, yeah, get Ponga in. Have a dig. Cody Walker is the best replacement for Dillbags. 100%. We're just sweating on captain's run. And you know what? If he's out, is it the worst thing in the world if you have to play Oluwapu for 1 week and save a trade? Probably not.
It's against the Eels too. Not exactly a powerhouse defensively. So
no, I don't actually hate just saving it and waiting if you had. I wouldn't get Cody Walker in this week if I didn't have him. I'm a very happy owner. Cody Walker's been great for me. I plan on captaining him if he plays, but yeah, just play Oluwapu for a week or just wait there and see if Cody's named, put him in. If he's not, you have the option to just run Oluwapu, save a trade, or get Ponga in.
Yep. Answer me this, and this will lead into trades, our final trades and captains and all that kind of stuff. So the 3 2RFs that are popular this week, John Bateman, Isaiah Papali'i, Bretton Nikora.
Yep.
If you had to pick one, who's your pick?
Nikora, but it's going to be dependent on how much money I have.
Yep. So initially when I traded for Federer, I was thinking Nikora because I had this surplus of cash. I had 702k in the bank. Now I'm holding for Federer and going Hosking out. I thought, you know what? Bang for buck, value for money wise, I could get the same output from Isaiah Papali'i than I could get from Bretton Nikora or John Bateman over the next month. So I'm thinking, you know what? Isaiah Papali'i's bottomed out at 548k, I think he is. He's still got a 75 break even, but I just have this inkling. I've got this tingling in my balls about Isaiah Papali'i this week. I reckon he goes over for a right?
I love it when you quote me to me.
Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like he will score tonight. I've got him in a multi as an anytime try scorer.
I might have to get on that with you. But I do also think that if you're sitting there and it's someone like Fafita and you've got blokes like Jackson Ford, like maybe you can just wait a week on IPAP as well. Like it's not going to hurt. Like IPAP is going to be probably the same amount of money next week, maybe even cheaper. Yeah,
I completely agree. I'm just looking at opportunity for points against Gold Coast Titans tonight.
Yep.
It's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, cool. Understand it.
So what are your trades? What are your final trades?
So my trades this week after backflip. So I've got no boosts left. But I had 19, so I'm going to have 17 at the end of the week. I have gone Nathan Cleary and Zach Hosking. Remember, I'm holding David Fafita to Mitchell Moses and Nick Meaney via Jules. I wanted to get Nick Meaney in last week. I ballsed up and couldn't get him in. Regret it. Going to get him in. His break even. He still lost money last week. So good. I didn't bank the 86 points. But I don't believe all the hype about Ryan Pappenhausen being back in 3 or 4 weeks. If he is, I probably trade Meaney out, or he's still the goal kicker and just roll with him. So, yeah, I like Meaney. I like both of those plays. That makes sense. Bringing in 2 goal kickers as well, which is nice. So, yep. I'm doing Hosking out for Isaiah Papali'i. I'm doing Brown to Ponga, Cleary to Moses. Those are my 3 trades. That's my final boost. Leaves me with 18 trades left for the season. So I still feel pretty good about that.
I've got about 8 trades to play with until about round 2021, which was always the plan to have 10 for the run home. So I'm in a pretty good spot.
Yep.
Captain?
Yeah, look, so I'm going to vice captain Jareem Buller tonight. And I'm going to captain either Mitchell Moses or Cody Walker. I want to hear a bit more about Cody Walker. If I hear nothing about Cody Walker and Cody Walker just plays, you know what, against, I think they're playing the Dragons, I am going to be very excited for Cody Walker as a captain, even on one leg. Otherwise, yeah, Mitchell Moses, I'm getting him in this week because I expect him to score points.
I like it. I think we got through every question or pretty close to it. Sorry if we missed you. It's been a bit of a rushed episode, but it's just about kickoff, guys. Just before we hop off, please hit subscribe. Please hit like. Helps us get the episode to more people. If you're listening to this one on delay on your Saturday morning as you mow the lawn, make sure to. I know you'd like that comment because you're a big lawnmower, a podcast lawnmower. Please hit follow on Spotify or Apple or Google, wherever you get your podcasts. That'll do us. Enjoy the football. Go the Tigers. We will see you Monday for the wrap because it's a Monday. Last game is a Monday this week, so we'll see you then. Have a good weekend.
Cheerio. Bye.